Have you ever read a book, taken a course, or watched a video, only to forget most of it a week later? That used to happen to me all the time. Then I built a simple system in Notion that captures and organises everything I learn, so it actually compounds over time. In this video, I'll give you an overview and show you exactly how my knowledge capture system works. Welcome back to Digital Perivalon. In this series, we've been exploring why knowledge is the ultimate advantage, and how learning really works in the digital age. But here's the truth. If you don't have a system to capture and organise what you learn, most of it will slip away. Think about the last book you read or the last podcast you listened to. Can you recall 3 specific insights from it right now? If not, you're not alone. Hermann Ebbinghaus, the German psychologist who pioneered the experimental study of memory, discovered something called the forgetting curve. It shows that within days, we forget most of what we consume, unless we actively capture and review it. For years, I struggled with this. I had notes scattered across apps, notebooks, even sticky notes. Nothing connected, nothing lasted. I forgot everything. That's when I decided to build a system, not just for storing information, but for turning it into knowledge. So let's open my Notion and take a look at what I've done. This is my workspace in Notion. This is the main page where I can actually have my menu. And when I read a book, a podcast, I do a Skillshare course, or I have anything that I capture from what I've read or distilled, I actually put it here into the sources of knowledge database. So if we click that on, you can see here, this is basically a summary of all the books and the podcasts and the Skillshare courses that I've read, where I record the name of the book, I record the author, the productivity or the category that resonates for me for that particular resource, what I thought of it, what status is at, so that way I can see what I haven't read and where I got it from, whether it's Kindle, a blog post, or an actual physical book. So once I record these, I actually then put the highlights from that book. So if we go to one of my favorite books, which is Atomic Habits by James Clear, if I open that, you can now see all my notes that I got from reading that book and basically distilling and capturing that knowledge as I was reading it. And then I put this all into my Notion page, and then I have all my highlights that basically came from reading that resource. The next phase for me is then I read these ideas and I might highlight a couple, and I distill this information even further by capturing ideas or topics within the paragraphs that have resonated for me. It might even be just a simple quote. And from here, I then take those ideas or these highlighted areas and I put them into my knowledge hub. And this is my knowledge hub here. And this is a whole bunch of topics or ideas or headings that resonate for me. So if we say go to this area of active listening, we can see in here, these are all the notes and highlights from Find Your Why that actually relates to active listening for me, or it resonated for me as active listening. I also have Bridge Builders, and these are a couple of paragraphs from that book, and 2-minute pep talks, Getting to Yes, and a quote from Show Your Work. So I put all these resources from these different books that I read, and I put those particular highlights that relate for me to the topic called active listening. And this way I can collate different people's ideas onto one specific idea that resonates for me. Then I go one step further because I want to keep it even more simple, and I then create a topics database. And this topics database, I link it to each one of those ideas that you saw in the Knowledge Hub. And I can then click onto these, like if we click onto ideas, you can then see all the different Knowledge Hub papers that relate for me to the topic of ideas. So if I ever want to know anything about ideas, I come in here and we can click on one, you can see, and here's now ideas have no value if they're not executed. And these are the 2 resources where that idea in my mind came from. And again, I can click onto that resource and go back to the original source notes that I had. So that's a quick overview of my knowledge capture system. This approach completely changed how I think and work. Instead of wasting time searching for old notes or struggling to remember what I once learned, I now rely on what Tiago Forte calls a second brain. The idea isn't to collect endless information, it's to create a living knowledge system that grows alongside you. Your second brain captures ideas, organises them, and connects them so you can retrieve them when you need them most. That's why I use Notion. It's flexible, visual, and powerful enough to be whatever you want it to be. But the truth is, the tool doesn't matter as much as the habit. You can build the same process in Obsidian, Evernote, Google Docs, or even a notebook. What matters is this: as long as you're capturing, organizing, connecting, and reviewing, you're building leverage. That's how you turn information into wisdom. So that's my knowledge capture system in Notion. It's simple, but it's made all the difference to me. In the next video, we'll go deeper into how to transform what you capture into true understanding. If you found this useful, please hit the subscribe button and maybe share this video with someone who's always learning but struggling to remember it all. And I'd love to hear from you. What tools or methods do you use to capture what you learn? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching.